Good rising, good rising. It is June 4th, 2025. So good to be alive. OMG, I am getting it started early. It's 9:56. The intro is so long that I'm going to get it started. There's nobody here. Yeah, but guess what? I'm still going to do my intro. Okay, they'll have to just come on in. I have a special guest today. When he arrives, I'll introduce him, but oh boy, let's get it started, people. You know how we do it. Beijing, ni hao. London, hello, top of the morning to you, London. Los Angeles, hey. Paris, bonjour. Lisbon, hola. Come on, Lisbon. We know you got the conference going on. Hey, I am in the TGs and I see what's happening. I see the meetups. You know, you peeps are going and you're having meetups and you're talking about all the fun stuff that's happening in Lisbon and the wine tasting. And hey, shill some stamp for us. Do you mind doing that? Okay. Yeah, I get it. You want to taste all the food and you want to have all the fun, but shill some stamp. All right. Hey, I'm just teasing. I'm going to have to make it out to one of those conferences one of these days. Maybe, just maybe I will be there next year. But Hong Kong, hello. Sweden, hey. Toronto, good day. Hey, wait for this, people. Tokyo, konnichiwa. Turkey, merhaba. I love it because it rhymes. Hey, my name is Trudee Art. I actually do some of the spaces here on the universe. Yeah, they allow me to do the spaces. Hey, too bad for them. I am here and I'm just going to do it the way I feel I want to do it. And it's kind of weird, it's kind of wild, it's kind of wacky, but you know what? Let's get at it. Okay, hey, this is the Universe Wallet. Guys, the universe is expanding. Yeah, it's expanding. And sometimes when you build, OMG, you know, there's a lot of challenges, but we got to come together as a family and we got to get it right and keep it tight. So here we go. What can you do with the Universe Wallet? Hey guys, it's an indexer. It's an explorer. It's actually a marketplace and inscribing, plus the leaderboard tracker for the dot swap runes trading and copy trading bot, all on bitcoinuniverse.io. Unleashing Bitcoin's full potential. Yeah, Bitcoin's got potential. You wouldn't know it right now, Bitcoin. Come on. Stay up, okay? Stay up. I'm up. Unleashing Bitcoin's full potential. That's right. Making the Universe Wallet your all-in-one solution to manage all your assets in one place. It's so important. It's so important that I share this information because we're going to dive into one specific protocol. And once we get into that protocol, you know, we're just going to be all about the SWA, baby. So let's give the universe a plug and a thank you for me taking over their airwaves. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So you got to check out the wallet because it truly is the all-in-one solution for all assets that are Bitcoin to be in one place. Hey guys, you got full support for Atomicals, okay? Atomicals are pretty cool. We got to have a space on them sooner or later. Sooner or later. Any music fans out there? Oh my God. Anyhow, okay. Alkanes, BRC20, another one bites the dust 20, tap, DMT, UNET, runes, LRC20, Lambda, Op20, op names. Yeah, and I know there's some other stuff, mezcals. OMG. Lots going on there. We'll talk about it. SRC-20, stamp, because it's SWA, baby. SWA. Yeah, we're going to be talking about the stamp. Hey, but this is a helpful reminder. Like, come closer. Yeah, come closer. None of this is financial advice. You little peeps, you just love to go around blaming people. Go look in that mirror. Go blame your mirror. Yeah. You have a cerebral cortex, okay? And you need to be using it. I am being serious. Yes, I'm being serious. Okay. I sound really. Hey, has anybody watched Seinfeld? Remember the soup Nazi? Hey, that's what they said in the show. Okay. No soup for you. No crypto for you if you can't DYOR. Okay, this blamey, finger pointy stuff, stop it right now. I'm not your mom, but you got to stop it. Hey, just some other things that I want to ask you. Yeah, do you have your water ready? I got some water back there. I got my glass straw. Had a couple sips this morning. Very good to get you started. Kind of cleans you out, you know what I mean? Flushes you out. It's good to get flushed out. Get your blood pressure monitor because I'll tell you, Bitcoin, oh, 1 minute you think this thing is just going to Valhalla and beyond, and then another minute it's just like deciding it just wants to go to, I guess, I don't know. Oh God, Bitcoin, make up your mind, but we know it's going to go up eventually. What have you done for yourself lately? Do a mirror check. But I have more questions. Have you opened up a Universe wallet yet? Hey, have you named your wallet? How can you name your wallet? Let's is anybody even out there? Dear God, can anybody hear me? By the way, I am going off. I'm going crazy. Oh, okay, I can be here. Listen, guys, let me be kooky just for a little bit longer. Oh my God, I see my guest out there. Fair dog, don't go anywhere. I have to get through all this stuff. Oh my God, I'm being a little bit kooky, but I have to do it. Okay, where was I? Okay, yeah. Okay, Universe. I have the script in my head. I don't have it like on paper. But yes, I was saying, have you named I know you name stuff. Don't let me get started. I name stuff too, okay? Okay, we know. So name your wallet. Okay, how do you do that? You go to bitcoinuniverse.io, you hit register. That's right. You go to universe names. I'm doing it right now. You insert any wallet, by the way, guys. It doesn't have to specifically be a Universe wallet. Insert the name of your wallet. So you want to call your wallet Cutie Pie. Cutie Pie. That's a personality, isn't it? Or is it Pewdie? Whatever. Just name it and then you link your address, register, nominal fee, booyaka, booyaka. Then you can talk to me. How can you do that? You go over to tools, you hit chat, look for me. My name's Trudee Art, and you say whatever to me. You say, you know what? I think that you are so freaking strange. You got to stop it. And I'll say something back to you. Okay, just prepare yourself. I'm going to get out there now. I'm going to stop talking. But oh my God, I have to make a quick announcement. Get as many people as you can in here. Oh, freaking yeah, boy, Nancy. I don't know if anybody knows yeah, boy, Nancy. Yeah, better. Because guess what? OMG. He made a stamp. Okay? I got to freaking calm down. He made a stamp. That's right. He stamped. He is actually, okay, he was on ETH. Okay? And he was a part of the GameStop marketplace. Do you guys know about GameStop? Yeah, it's a company, Ryan Cohen, blah, blah, blah. Shorts, hedges, evil, Darth Vader type stuff going on. Anyhow, GameStop, good guys. They made a marketplace, and he was one of the very first content creators that they chose to be on that marketplace. And now he's coming to stamp. Oh my God. I can't tell you how freaking excited I am. Literally tingling. I can't wait till he lists the stamp because I don't know who's going to buy it first, me or Sadie. Like I saw Sadie in the back. Sadie's out there going, hey, remember, list it. We'll buy it all right now. And Sadie, trust me, I love Sadie, but here's the thing about Sadie. Sadie loves art so much. And when she really likes an artist, she freaking just like supports them. And it's like, could you not buy all the stamps, Sadie? Like, no offense, but I would like to get some too. Okay. Here's what's happening today. Fair Dog is on here. The Bitcoin Ape is on here too, so I hope he jumps in here. We typically do artist spotlights, and you know who we're going to be spotlighting soon. You better hang on to it. But for now, we're going to talk about some coins. Yeah, we're going to talk about SRC-20 coins, whether it's Stamp, the Champ, Luffy. We're going to talk about it. But come back next week. Oh my God. You know what's going to happen next week? One of the Kevin Palooza is happening next week. Matt, don't you dare go anywhere. You stay here. Kevin Palooza is coming next week. We are going to have such a great time with Kevin Palooza because one of the guys that's on the ground right now at that Lisbon conference, Lisbon conference, coming right here to SWA, baby. Okay, coming right here to SWA. Hey, we might even today, we might even have SRC Pad. Guys, if you're here, let me know and I'll bump you up here so you can have a little bit of a chit chat. But listen, Fair Dog, I wanted Fair Dog on here because Fair Dog has got a lot to say. And Fair Dog is, oh my God, he's got a thing or two that he wants to share with us. But Fair Dog, you got to become a speaker. What's going on here? Fair Dog, while you're becoming a speaker, let me just see what Bitcoin Ape is up to. Please become a speaker. Bitcoin Ape, unmute yourself, sir.
Hey, Trudee, what's up?
Listen, I am so freaking excited that I have to calm down. I don't know what's going on with me today. But, there's something going on.
How's it going?
Calm me down. Calm me down. Like what the heck? Why am I excited? Are you excited, by the way?
Yeah, it's gonna be a great space with Fair Dog and all the things around. So let's fucking go.
There's so much opportunity. Like it's tingling out of my body, people. There's so much opportunity. Hey, if you want to turn your life around and if you want to go from, crying in your bear market to some opportunities for you and your family, it's happening. Fair Dog, come in here and tell us a little bit about why we should stay and not leave.
Well, because we're right at the beginning of the parabolic bull run stage. The next 6 months are going to be pretty explosive. If you were here in 2021 and you remember how, the beginning of the year was January, February, March, where every day things went up only. It was like up, up, up. And then we had kind of like a mid-cycle correction, and then things did it again in October, November. I'm expecting, hopefully this month's going to be great, and then hopefully the summer will be okay, but I'm expecting the real fireworks to start in September, end of September, October, and November is going to be the month, in my opinion. That's the month that you need to take some profits. Anyway.
Okay, interesting. So, can you, I really enjoy hearing from you because you've been around in Bitcoin for some time. Maybe tell us when you got started, and then I'm going to ask some questions as to why you think that. Like, when did you actually get started in like crypto and Bitcoin? Like, what year?
Okay. Well, I mean, I obviously knew about Bitcoin way back, when it started, but I was just kind of had the stupid, naive attitude of, oh, that's worthless. I don't care about that, and I realized what a big mistake it was, because every day I think about what if I was able to buy Bitcoin at $100 back in 2010 or 2011, and you could be a multi-billionaire now. People that did are. Anyway, though, but you can't look at the past. You have to look at the future. So I actually started getting into it right as that last cycle was getting going at the end of 2020, like December. And it wasn't the opportune time to be buying at that time because that's when things were going up. But I didn't really know. I didn't know what I was doing. I just said, okay, I'm going to get into this, and I started DCAing into Bitcoin and ETH and buying a little bit of some other coins, and I didn't really understand the 4-year cycle at that time. But ever since then, I'm extremely educated every day, educating myself 3 or 4 hours a day for the last 4 years on the correct way to read the cycles, the ups, the downs, how to take profits, so on. So anyway, so I went pretty heavily in 2021 DCAing, and I did not take any profits at the end of 2021, but I did not panic sell either. So I'm sitting on a lot of stuff I've been holding for 4 years now, and I have a complete plan on taking profits on most of my altcoins later this year. Anyway, but we're not here for that. We're here for SRC-20 and Counterparty, right?
Absolutely. Okay, so why SRC-20 specifically? Maybe you can kind of help us to understand like why someone like yourself, who seems like a very astute investor, would head over to SRC-20.
Well, I was lucky back in, was it May or April of 23? I knew about BRC-20, but I didn't really step into it. And then I saw one of Prestito's videos, and he was the only guy doing videos on YouTube on SRC-20. And I saw one of his videos about SRC-20. I said, wow, it's better than BRC-20 because it's permanent, and now's a chance to get in. And I got very lucky. I started minting Stamp, and I was too late to mint Kevin, but I minted Stamp, and I minted Bobo, I minted Pizza, and then there was that pause. They had like a week where they shut down because they had some technical issues, and I was just waiting 24/7 for them to turn back on so I could get back in and mint as much Stamp as I could. And I remember when it was like real quick, and it turned it on, and Stamp minted out within like 5 hours of them going back online. It was a mad frenzy because during that week, the word got out. So anyway, that was back in May of 2023. And then a brief history here. During the summer of 2023, there was a OTC market, a kind of informal OTC market on Discord that was there where you could buy Kevin and Stamp for pretty cheap. But then things didn't really start taking off until I think it was November of 23 when OpenStamp came online, Stamp Scan, and then things really took off at that time. And then KuCoin, that was the all-time high back in March of 2024. And then ever since then, it's just been a long haul. We've been watching a slow decline, occasional pumps when Binance has been tweeting, but it's basically been a long journey of the diamond hands versus the paper hands, And you've had a lot of people. I've seen a lot of these paper handers that just come in, they buy a lot, and then they give up, they get out. You're seeing it right now, every day. You see these guys that this one guy bought at the peak. He bought like 8 million Kevin at the peak in December 23, and he put the 8 million orders still sitting there up on OpenStamp right now. Ridiculous. So whatever, let them go, because we haven't seen the fireworks yet, and there will be fireworks.
Yeah, here's what I really enjoy about you. Like, there's an assurance in your voice, and I'm going to really press you on that and ask you about it. I mean, I tend to agree with you, but I like the fact that you have this like quiet confidence in you. And let me just clarify, people. If you're coming aboard here, yeah, this is SWA, Stamp with Attitude. And let's just get it right here. Let's keep it tight, get it right. Stamp is actually a protocol. It stands for Secure Transferable Artifacts Maintained Permanently by Mike in the Space. He's out in Lisbon right now. He's talking about it. He's probably on the panel right now. You'll get to see him on upcoming YouTube, I'm sure. And he's an art lover, and he created it because of the art. Like, let's not get it twisted. But as you know, there's always Dejans in all of us and gamblers in all of us. And so the tokens were formed, and the tokens are the SRC-20 side. So that's what we're focusing on today. So some of you art lovers, we'll get back to having artists back on the show next week and the week after and so forth. But we're really going to dive into the tokens. So what makes you so confident? I mean, like, if you look at the charts right now, Stamp is flat. Stamp's not going anywhere. Like, why haven't you just paper handed and given this thing up? Like, just forget about it.
Well, first of all, I'm older. I'm not young, so I have a lot more patience than these young guys do. And with crypto, you just got to be patient. I mean, I was DCAing into Bitcoin during 22 at the lows, and now I'm up like 300% of my Bitcoin holdings, because I was patient. I didn't panic sell at that time. So it's just a game of being patient, and make sure you take profits. I truly believe it's the best. I'm not a fan of runes. I'm not a fan of BRC-20. I'm not a fan of all the of that stuff at all. I don't have any of it. All I have are my SRC-20s and some counterparty assets, and that's what I'm into. That's what I'm going to focus on, and that's what I have the faith in. And even if we don't see a pump this cycle, I'm just going to wait. I'll wait till next cycle, because I have faith that the developers are going are going to bring stuff, and this protocol is going to develop into something pretty big. And if it doesn't happen this cycle, I'm wait till 2028, 29, whatever. And I can afford to do that because SRC-20 isn't my only holding. I have other investments, other tokens, so I can afford to just sit on this. I'm not gonna throw it away, which is what these guys are doing. I mean, let me say one thing right now. I need to say something that I've noticed. The best risk reward right now today in SRC-20 is Kevin. Look what's happening with Kevin right now. It's at the lowest price it's been since the OTC markets. People are dumping Kevin, which is the first SRC-20 token. It's ridiculous. If I had extra money, I'd be stacking it. I'd be stacking more Kevin right now. I don't, but I mean, it's ridiculous. I don't understand people dumping their Kevin right now. It doesn't make sense to me. So anyone out there, if you want the best risk reward in the Bitcoin protocol right now, it's Kevin. Buy Kevin. Okay.
And by the
It's
way,
ridiculous.
yeah, and hey, people, don't get it twisted, because when you create a SRC-20 token, for now anyhow, it is 5 characters. And so what happens is, once you mint that character, like whatever the letters are, you can't mint it again. So there are copycatters that will leave out a word. Like I was quickly looking at the openstamp.io, because for now the Bitcoin universe still does not have the marketplace. We've explained why, the APIs, but there's some fun stuff coming, and we'll talk about it. So when you go to openstamp.io, if you're hunting for some SRC-20, Kevin is spelled Kevin, okay? Because I'm looking at a token right now that's spelled Keven. That would not be the Kevin.
Okay. No, there's a scam Kevin on there. There's Kevin with an E. So just go. I would just go look at the mints and see what there's a, or actually what's that website? What's Raina Moore's website? Stampchain.io.
Oh yeah,
That's a really good.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So you can see what was minted first, and Kevin was minted first. Stamp was minted like an hour after Kevin. So technically Kevin is the first one. Stamp is the one with the most volume, the protocol. Look at SRC-20 as you have 2 blue chips. You have Kevin and you have Stamp. When Stamp takes off, Kevin's going to take off. When Kevin takes off, Stamp's going to take off. So they're kind of like brothers. I can't speak much for the other ones. People have their favorites. I have a few other ones. I'm not holding much hope that they're gonna pump. If they do, great. I'm happy. But if you're a newbie, or even if you're a serious investor, those are the 2 to put your money in right now. Stamp is also at a great price right now, but risk reward Kevin right now is a steal. It's a steal. It's a steal. So
none of this is financial advice. You got to do your own research. Okay, so I'm looking at the real Kevin, Kevin, and let me tell you a little bit about it. Okay, just the stats. Okay, peeps, we've got 2,139 holders, and currently it's at 1.69 sats. Yeah, literally. The total supply is 690,000, or 690 million. Sorry, 90,000. That'd be cool. And let's see. As far as the market cap, we're at 1.2 million. 1.2 million.
The
Okay,
mints were 420,000 each. It did get a listing on. It's still listed there. I'm not quite sure if there's any volume at SuperX,
that's
but
listing, right? Is that the only listing?
I think so. But it never had much volume. So, but anyway, the bottom line is that there's a very hardcore Kevin Maxi community too on Telegram. These guys, a lot of them hate Stamp. They're just Kevin Maxis. So it's a very hard.
Gotta convert them.
Well, I don't care. They can do what they want. I mean, I'm kind of I'm part of that community, but I'm not a Maxi. I'm just a I like them both. I have them both. I don't hate one or the other. But yeah. So Kevin's going to go where Stamp goes. If Stamp gets listed on Binance, I think Ken will be the number 2. So that's where, and then after that, you might see some of the utility tokens like SD Map and SRC Pad, which we need to talk about because they had a major announcement today, which got me very excited.
Do you want to drop it? Do you want to drop it? What's
Yeah.
going on with SRC Pad? Okay, that's another one that people should look at because that is a utility coin. Okay, SRC Pad. Drop the info for us. Tell us what's going on.
Well, SRC Pad, I think they're the guy Universal that runs the Firements website, right? Firements.xyz.
Yeah.
And that is the Counterparty protocol, and there are tokens on that which you can trade and buy. And I am a holder of one of the most popular tokens on there called FairDog. Now, the volume recently hasn't been very good on those tokens, mainly because I don't think the marketplaces are promoted very well, and it's just not. There's not much publicity on that. But the exciting thing was the SRC Pad guys have been in development for the last couple of years, and today they announced that they're coming out with the DEX on ICP protocol in the upcoming months for the Counterparty tokens, which is awesome.
Why?
So
why is that awesome? What can it do for us? Like, spell it.
the DEX will be able, and they're going to have liquidity pools, so we'll be able to trade the Counterparty tokens on this DEX. I don't know how they're going to integrate SRC-20 into that, if that's on their agenda, but anyway, so getting back to FairDog had a lot of really good volume in January and February, and then it's kind of leveled off. And you can get it now for very, very good prices on OpenStamp or on the Fireman's website. And the thing that makes FairDog a great token is, first of all, it's a Bitcoin dog token, and we know that the dog tokens tend to do very well, like the Runes dog. And number 2, the tokenomics for FairDog are really good. It's 100 million tokens out there, so you can buy lots of 100,000 on there and get a good supply. And I think it'll pick up again. I think the volume, once that DEX is released, I think FairDog will be one of the hottest tokens trading on that DEX.
Yeah, and if you're wondering where to get FairDog right now, again, because it's not on the bitcoinuniverse.io as of yet, you go to openstamp.io and you go over to Marketplace, you hit XCP, and then you'll see 4 tokens. FairDog is at 0.8 sats. No volume in the last 24 hours, but like you said, it's slow right now. 100 million circulating supply. And the current market cap is only $84,000. Like, and there's 580 holders. It's like,
it got up to 10 sats. It got to, a couple months ago. It got up to 10 sats, and then things just kind of leveled off from there. So you can also trade it. You can also trade it on the Fireman's website, but there's no volume there. Also, the Horizon Market has a marketplace there. So, but it's kind of the way those marketplaces work is you have to like attach UTXOs to the assets before you sell them, which is it's not an easy process to do. So hopefully what this DEX will do will make things a lot easier.
Well, here's the thing, people. Okay, so we're talking about tokens, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Yeah, we care. You want to know why? It's on Bitcoin. If this wasn't on Bitcoin, we wouldn't be caring. Okay, like if this was a Solana token, no offense, Solana, you're great, haha, wonderful. But this is Bitcoin. There's only 21 million, and we've got like the suits fighting right now and putting out all the scare tactics. Have you noticed how BlackRock, they're here buying and reallocating? They're not dumping, okay? They're buying, reallocating, and then in between that, dropping tweets about quantum computing. Fears of quantum computing coming to Bitcoin. They don't seem to be really scared, do they? Because they're putting a lot of money into Bitcoin. So that's why I think we're having this SRC-20 conversation. It's because it's on top of Bitcoin. That's what makes the token so interesting to us. It's because it's on top of Bitcoin. So in my mind, and I'll ask you, as the scarcity of Bitcoin continues to grow and grow and grow, where are we going to go to get little slices and little pieces of Bitcoin? And we got to remember, like, Stamp may be not in the zeitgeist right now, but it is securitized on top of Bitcoin. That's got to mean something, people. It's secure. So, what are your thoughts on that? Does Stamp have a monopoly on permanence? And is the fact that these tokens on Stamp, is the fact that it's on Bitcoin like a big deal or not? Does it matter?
Yeah, I mean, it has the prestige and the cachet of being on the Bitcoin protocol and also being immutable and permanent, as Bitcoin Ape always emphasizes. So yeah, once the word gets out, and right now there is a hardcore community, and there are people accumulating. There are whales accumulating Stamp right now. It's happening. Raina Moore has actually said this in the chat that Stamp is it's gonna blow up. It's just a matter of when, you know, and so right now is a great time to get in because the prices are very, very, very reasonable, very low, and you can stack a few 100,000, and people they're doing it. You can see it. You can see people stacking, and I think a lot of the people selling it. There's a group of traders that all they're doing right now. Maybe it's good for volume, but they're buying on KuCoin and they're selling on OpenStamp, or they're buying on OpenStamp and selling on KuCoin, and that's all they do. And all these guys do is they make their $50 a trade or whatever it is, and they're happy with that. Fine. Us minters and us hodlers in the end are going to make so much more than these traders ever will. The traders are a double-edged sword. Number one, yeah, they can have a negative effect on prices, but number two, they bring volume. So, I'm not a trader. I don't understand trading. I'm not into trading. I'm into investing. I'm into long-term viability and just being patient, and the profits will come to you. I'm not one that's going to every day sell, buy, sell, buy. It's just traders are gamblers, and then you have investors. So
Yeah, so interesting that you mentioned that they're doing a little bit of that that trading. They're
you
trying
can
to.
see it. You can see it. You can see every. It's easy to see by tracking the wallet, by tracking the KuCoin wallet, and seeing what's getting sent there, what's getting received from there, what addresses are constantly doing this. And you say, okay, well, I mean, I haven't used KuCoin as far as buying. I know they have hefty withdrawal fees, and I'm wondering how much are these guys making if they're selling 100,000 Stamp on KuCoin for 0.013, or they're buying it for 0.012 and then selling an OpenStamp for 0.0125. They're making peanuts. It's ridiculous. If they would just take that 100,000 and stack it and hold it for a few months or a year or whatever, make so much more money. But whatever. Yeah, they're gamblers.
Yeah, it looks like it's arbitrage. Arbitrage takes
Yeah,
advantage of market
yeah.
inefficiencies and exploits short-lived
It's such a
variations in the
it's such
price
a small spread.
of
It's such
identical or
yeah.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's just such a small spread. It's just like it's peanuts. It's not very much money. You and me on our mints, we've already made. If we were to sell today, we've already made more than these traders have made trading Stamp for a year. You know, so that just shows you all these guys have to do is just stack and hold. You know, and take your profits when Binance tweets again, or when we get a big pump, which is going to come. But these guys know they traders mentality. They always got to be in the action. They always have to gamble. They always have to buy and sell. So whatever, fine.
Okay, so can Stamp evolve from wash trading meme coins to real-world assets, do you think?
We need more liquidity. We need more listings. That's what I've always been saying. That's the key. Once you get more of that, it's gonna make these guys irrelevant. The reason they can affect the price so much is because we just have KuCoin and OpenStamp. StampScan gets zero volume right now for some reason. No one uses that site anymore. So maybe OpenStamp is actually doing some of it themselves. Who knows? So we don't know. But anyway, we need more listings. We need more development, and it's coming. And when it comes, things will change.
Yeah, like I'm looking at the order book, and I mean, you got 100,000 that traded hands here for 0.0125. Then you've got 10,000 for 0.001. So there's trades going through. So yeah, people are still actively trading stamp. And we're kind of in that, we're about 13.98 sats all the way down to say 11 sats. We're kind of vibrating right in
Well,
there.
yeah, the good news is that floor, that 1 cent floor has not been broken. It bounced the other day. 2 days ago, it bounced. Some guy threw up like 1.7 million on a KuCoin, and it bounced on that. You can see it bounced on like 0.00999 and came back up. So it's a hard floor, that 1 cent. So anything in this area is goodbye. Anything around here, you're gonna do fine. You know.
You know, I know that like there's a big push right now, narrative moving towards yield. Okay. Do you think that there's anything that the stamp SRC-20 space can do, specifically the brand ambassador stamp and obviously First Mint Kevin, towards staking and yield farming? Like, what do you think? You know, in that regard.
Yeah, well, if it could be set up, I'm not a coder or anything, so that'd be something to ask Randomora if get some liquidity pools established and like pairs, liquidity pairs, BTC, and that's the great thing about this protocol. It's on Bitcoin, so you can maybe do a pair BTC, Kevin BTC stamp, do and get yield off that, and maybe some other tokens too. We'll see. I mean, we're still in the first inning here of all this. There's been very little development, but it'll come, and it's a great thing that the guys now are at that conference in Lisbon to publicize it. It's the first time they've actually done that, I think, right? I mean, so and the way I look at the token side of things is the artwork end of it is helping publicize the token end of it, so that's all good.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. That's all great. And here's the thing. Like, I like that you say that, hey, it's on Bitcoin. We can do that because that's the whole point. It's on Bitcoin. Like, we wouldn't be riding so hard for these tokens if they were on something else, but it's literally on chain on Bitcoin, and that's what gets us excited. And by the way, when you buy stamp, you buy it in Bitcoin and you sell it in Bitcoin. Like, we you minted for, like, the equivalent of sats for $60, and you're able to sell it for a lot more Bitcoin. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so here's the thing for you. We kind of talk about this, but could AI agents enter the stamp world, do you think?
I
Like,
guess
I'm throwing out questions here. Like, I mean,
I'm
what would
not,
that do? Because would you, by the way, would you stake your stamp? Would you stake it?
Sure, hell yeah. Why not? I love staking. Yeah. I'd stake all my SRC-20s if I could. Yeah, no problem.
Developers, listen, we're willing to stake. There are people out here that are willing to stake. Hey, because not all of us are jumping in and out. Like, some of us want to keep this stuff long term. Like, I mean, you're obviously, you don't have to tell us your sell price, but even if it went to $1, some of us would continue to stake. Even if it went to $2, some of us would continue to stake. So there's tremendous opportunity here. We're at 1 cent.
Yeah. Anyway, back to listing. I wanted to bring the ape into the conversation here because a few days ago on the Telegram group, I don't know if ape is a member of that group or not. I don't. Maybe it appears under a different name there. But I was pushing. There's been a lot of talk about listings there, and I guess we were trying to find a listing manager for Stamp. And this one guy was Random Warner nominated this one guy to do it, but I don't know if he did anything. Then I just suggested Bitcoin 8 be the listing manager because he by far is the best promoter on the internet for SRC-20. So I don't know if he talked to Random Warner about that, but I would nominate you, Bitcoin 8, to be a listing manager.
Well, he had a great space yesterday. I was on that. Bitcoin Ape, you still there, or you left?
Hey, what's up? Oh, fair dog, thanks very much, for your support. But now I'm busy. I'm on OKX. I'm trying to buy
Oh,
some fair dog.
good luck.
I'm farming. So yes, indeed, it's a great deal for the dog. Fair dog, PP fair, stamps, Kevin, of course. So there is deal to make. So I forgot about fire means that there is this marketplace when you can buy some Counterparty tokens.
You can mint too. You can mint some new ones if you want to. It's very
Yeah,
inexpensive to mint. So
and congratulations for the future marketplace. The deck that is coming for Counterparty tokens. So they're
yeah,
gonna open up new liquidity for sure, and new users coming.
yeah. Well, me and this there's another fair dog holder that I kind of like talk to a lot. He's actually I think one of the biggest holders, and he's always promoting fair dog with me.
Cool.
So we're trying to push it. We're trying to get the word out. And it was very hot. Maybe it was the Chinese community that was really into it a few months
Yeah.
ago. Kind of leveled off, but you can also mint new tokens on there if you want. It's only like maybe $1 or $2 a mint at the time when I minted my fair dog. It's very cheap,
Wow.
and yeah,
I mint as well,
and
for dog.
oh, awesome.
I mint a few, I came in the hand of the minting, but yeah,
Well,
quite.
hold on to them because I think we're gonna, things are gonna take off when that DEX comes online, and I hope they maybe can integrate SRC-20 into that too. It'd be fantastic. We
Yeah,
really, really need some more volume and listings for Stamp, and hopefully Kevin. They're going to come. It's just a matter of time, but just got to be patient. In the meantime, stack what you can and promote, and that's the way it works.
yeah,
Let me ask a really traumatic question here, okay? But I'm going to ask it. I'm going to ask all the questions. Can Stamp survive without a listing?
Can Stamp without a sex listing?
Yeah.
Yeah, if we get some dexes, if we get a
Oh,
lot.
okay. So I mean, Dexes are coming. Hey, I was in a space and DotSwap even mentioned potential support for Stamp.
That'd be
They've never,
fantastic.
and that was last week. I was like, "Are you kidding me, guys?" I didn't pipe up to say anything, but I was shocked. They said, "Oh, and potentially Stamp." So you think that Stamp could survive without a sex listing?
Yeah, I mean, there are tokens out there that are, I guess they're doing okay just on dexes. I mean, sexes are not the be all end all. I personally prefer using dexes over sexes. And with the sex, you have to do the KYC usually to get approved for that, and then you got to send them the tokens or send them the USDT or whatever you're trading in, and then they have withdrawal fees. Whereas the dex basically you just pay gas fees and that's it. You ever used a dex on Salon or Uniswap? It's pretty easy. There's also services like I'm gonna promote this one they use called Swap Space, and they're fantastic. I'll tell you, you can go on there and they're like a Dex integrator, and you can use them and basically you send them Bitcoin and they'll send you back whatever you want. You can send them anything. You can send them USDT, ETH, whatever, and they'll send you back Polkadot or whatever you want. And the great thing about it is the only fees you pay are the gas fees you pay to send what you're swapping, and they send it right back to you. I use them. I've been recently I've been using Aave for to get loans. You know what Aave is? Aave is like a, a lending, borrowing, supplying protocol on Ethereum, and I've been converting because on Ethereum you have to use wrap Bitcoin. So I've been using this swap space to convert my Bitcoin to wrap Bitcoin, and then sending that wrap Bitcoin to Aave so I can borrow USDT.
What?
I know this. We're not talking about that today, but I'm just saying
We
that.
can't. We like see. Here's the thing,
Yeah.
people. Like, this is the power of the Bitcoin. So jump in it. Like, I want to hear it.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't know of any versions of Aave that are on Bitcoin, but Aave is strictly, it's the biggest of its kind. It's like a lending borrowing platform, and you can even just give them assets and make yield off it, like Ethereum and Link and whatever. But so I wanted to take a loan because my credit card rates are like ridiculous, 20%, 25%, whatever. And so you can go on Aave and supply Ethereum or supply wrap Bitcoin, and you can borrow USDT at 5%. So you got to provide them a maybe about two times what you're borrowing, and make sure it never gets below the loan LTV ratio, which is loan to value ratio, so you can liquidate it. You got to watch that. But anyway, it's a way to borrow money, a better way to borrow money on chain. It's the future, essentially. It's where we're going, you know.
Okay. Have you heard about Liquidium?
Excuse me?
Have you heard about Liquidium?
What's Liquidium? No.
Ah, there we go. Liquidium is for the Bitcoin, on the Bitcoin borrowers.
Great.
You can actually you can use your your ordinals, and I believe that Stamp will be coming soon, because ordinals are on the Bitcoin blockchain. So are Stamp, and Stamp are permanent. You can actually borrow from your Bitcoin art, and you can borrow from your Bitcoin runes. So I can see them potentially coming over to Stamp as well. So they are doing similar to what you're talking about. So
Yeah.
basically, their centralized bridge that bridge exploits and fragmented liquidity. They've got with wrap tokens, like you said, the wrap Bitcoin, and you can borrow from your assets that are on top of Bitcoin, and they will actually give you, I think the LTVs are like 80%.
Yeah.
And there's no like approval process. There's no credit score. There's
No,
just
none of that.
yeah.
That's
Like
the great thing. Because right now concurrently I'm trying to apply for a personal loan with a a standard one of these loan companies. It's a nightmare. They want to see my income, they want all these documents, and it's been like a month and I'm still not approved. I said, forget these guys, I'll just go on to Aave and get me USDT. Boom, bam, I got it. So
yeah, people, this is happening. I mean, I don't endorse borrowing, but I mean, that's a part of the money system. It's all about borrowing. And Liquidium is doing that on top of Bitcoin. I mentioned it a little while ago. But if you have Bitcoin art, you can borrow from your Bitcoin art. If you've got tokens, you can borrow from your Bitcoin tokens. Right now, they're pretty big, like I said, in the ordinals and the rune space. But why wouldn't they come to Stamp? Okay, Stamp is a smaller protocol, but as Stamp starts to increase, why wouldn't they? You should probably, if you're interested in getting Stamp on there, we should just start tagging them. So that's Liquidium. Look them up.
sounds good. I'll check it out.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely insane, really, that you can actually do that. Okay, so when we're talking about Stamp, SRC-20, all of that, what are we missing? What are we missing here? Like, why aren't the people out there in the CT getting hyped on the permanence? Like, are we focused too much
Well,
on the permanence? Like, what's the deal? Is it not poopy and dog
let,
butt
let,
enough?
let's look, let's take it out here. Look at a bigger picture
Yeah.
and compare it to back in March 24. Retail, for the most part, is not back into crypto right now. So we have to wait for for retail, the normal people, to come back and be watching the YouTube influencers, be going on crypto Twitter and all that, like they were back in March of 24 when we had that small mini altcoin rally at that time, or back in 2021. I mean, just look at what Ordi is like, down a lot. So I think we just need to wait until the the euphoria comes back, and it will come back. I think it's going to hit really wild in October, November. And at that time, people are going to be throwing money into everything, and it's going to get crazy.
Based on what prior experiences you've had, I guess
On the cycle, on the cycles, on the 4-year cycle theory and the bull run, we haven't seen the altcoins have been completely dead since. Well, they went up in December, last December, and since then there's been no alt season. The alts have done nothing. It's been all Bitcoin. So until we get that liquidity coming into the alts, I don't think we're going to see much happening. But when it does come, it's going to come. It's going to come hard and fast.
That's what they keep threatening, that like come through with those threats, people. They keep threatening that it's going to go to Valhalla. It's all this stuff is going to happen. Like I do feel it, I believe it, but for those that are coming in and like it hasn't happened yet and that sort of stuff, I guess it's hard because I always look at the market as the haves and the have-nots. Okay, those that have experienced a bull market and those that have not experienced a bull market. So it's hard for the ones like, you know what, I have an imagination, so I'm going to imagine what it must feel like, but I haven't been through the actual bull cycle. But literally there comes a point where everything at some point will rise because of Bitcoin going up. That's how it tends to work. Yes.
Yeah, and global liquidity, which is on the way up. It's skyrocketing. So, I mean, you just go back and just go back in 2020. Look at the charts of 2021 for different altcoins in like January, February, March, April, and see what they did, or October, November of 2021, where basically every day it's like 10%, 5%, 20%. Then you'll have a little pullback. Then it'll go up another 10%, 15%, 20%. And this happens nonstop for like a month or two. And that's what I'm predicting is going to happen in October, September, maybe late September, October, November. That's what I think is going to happen.
So that's what we have to look forward to. Some fireworks are incoming. So if you're new, and we can't really tell people what to do, but what if you're a normie and coming in? Like, what should you be doing right now?
In SRC-20?
Yeah, like just the research, or like, this is not financial advice, but hey.
Okay, well, if I had $1,000, I would buy $500 worth of Kevin and $500 worth of Stamp. That's what I would do.
Not
So.
advice. Not advice. Okay, not advice, because obviously we don't know where things are going to go. And the only reason, like I said, that we're even talking about this is because it's on Bitcoin. So like, let's say Bitcoin goes to $1 zillion. Does that affect, like, because the targets that they're putting out there, the end of the year, I've seen some targets that like will be at say 150, will be at 250, with by 2030, Kathy Woods from ARC says we'll be at 1 million. And there are a lot of others that say that too by 2030. And that's not far off. Okay. So when Bitcoin goes to these all-time highs, does it affect Stamp, you think?
Well, that's a good question. I think you can't really. I mean, Bitcoin is in a class of its own, and I don't think the pullbacks on Bitcoin are going to be as heavy as they used to be. I think we hit 250, 300. Maybe it'll go back down to 100. I don't know if it'll go below. After this year, I don't know if it'll go below 100 again. We'll see. But for me, Bitcoin is something that I don't like selling them. I hate selling them. The other stuff, I don't have a problem selling.
Why don't you want to sell your Bitcoin? Why don't you want to sell your Bitcoin? Because we got to put this out there so people get it. I don't think anybody gets it. Why don't you want to sell it?
Because it's getting very scarce. The supply is going down fast, and these institutions, these sovereign countries, they're not traders. They're not going to. The reason Bitcoin has been going down over the past 3 or 4 months are because of the hedge funds. They're selling, the traders. as more and more sovereign nations and people accumulate, they're not going to be selling it. They're going to be putting it away. And yes, Bitcoin will be $1 million within the next 5-10 years. And it's going to go up. I'm convinced. I'm fully convinced. I mean, it's going to happen. So, your chances of being able to buy Bitcoin under 100,000 are few and far between over the next year. And then it's going to be very hard to buy under 100,000, if ever. And then we'll get to 500,000, and then we'll get to 1 million, and then we'll get to 2, 3, 4 million. So that's why I don't like selling Bitcoin. And I can stomach the volatility of Bitcoin. Not that the volatility is going to be as heavy as it used to be. Now, the alts are a different ballgame. The alts, I'm selling 9% of my alts by the end of this year, no matter what. I'm doing that. I'm not going to round trip those again. No way.
Oh, okay. So you're selling all of your alts, or 90%? You said.
Well, I don't look at Stamp as really Stamp's in a category of its own. So I have certain price levels of Stamp that I want to take profits on, but they're
Right.
pretty high. And if we don't get a pump this
If you want
cycle,
to share any with us, your exits for stamps, go right ahead if you choose.
they're around a dollar.
Okay, most people are, yeah.
But if we don't get a pump, or we don't get if they can't develop what they need to develop by the end of this year, then I don't think I think we're gonna have to wait till next cycle. So I'm not gonna
You're willing to
sell.
hold. You'll hold your stamp.
Yeah, I'll hold Stamp for 4 years. I'm not gonna hold my Polkadot or my Cardano for 4 years. I'm gonna sell that, but or my XRP. But if I have to hold my Stamp for 4 more years, I can afford to. I will. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna worry about it. Because I'll take my profits on my other holdings. So
as you're saying, like, the reason why you're holding the Bitcoin is because it's getting more scarce. Just so that everyone is aware, which you probably are, the countries that currently hold Bitcoin right now, here they are, okay? USA, obviously. Germany, who actually sold some of their Bitcoin. Oh my God. And they've missed out on billions and billions, okay? Bhutan, Georgia, which is a European country, okay, not Georgia, Georgia, okay. China, obviously, Ukraine, Brazil, United Kingdom, El Salvador, and Finland. They hold Bitcoin on their balance sheet, okay, somewhere they hold Bitcoin. That's interesting. Now that's 10 countries right now. And I think there's more coming on board. Because
Pakistan just announced they're doing it.
Okay, so they just announced, eh?
And then you have states. You have states like Texas, right? They're going to do it, and I'm sure other states are. New Hampshire is one of them. They're doing it. So the bottom line is Bitcoin is getting scarcer by the day. I don't think we're going to see the 50, 60, 70% pullbacks like we saw in 22. And that's the one thing I really regret selling. And now what I can do, I can just you don't have to sell it. You can borrow against it.
Very, very interesting. Yeah, and I'm obviously I'm seeing that now. Pakistan reveals Bitcoin reserve plan to Trump crypto team at White House, and there's like headline after headline about Pakistan and Bitcoin. So yeah, when you're thinking about this, the price going up, how is it going to influence Stamp? Yeah, the reserves for Bitcoin will be tightening because everybody is piling in and getting aboard. And then we haven't even talked about the corporations that are doing it, right? Recently, GameStop announced that they're buying Bitcoin, and they just picked some up. MicroStrategy is plunging in really hard. There's some new companies that have just announced this week. There's a pretty big company in Japan. Japan. Who are they?
Metaplanet.
Pardon me?
Metaplanet.
Metaplanet, yeah, that's right. Metaplanet, they're buying heavily. So you're not just competing with countries who, I mean, they have the money to move the price. There's companies that also have major money that are coming in. And I'm going to say something very shocking and very crazy. For sure, okay, for sure, Warren Buffett will not be buying Bitcoin. Okay, Warren Buffett, because he did call it rat poisoning. And to a degree, it's true, because look at all of the nastiness that comes out of the fighting for Bitcoin. But anyhow, he won't be buying it. But guess what he announced? He is stepping down, and then he will have a new successor that's coming aboard. And I believe that the new guy's going to buy it. I really do. I really do. Warren can't do it. But once he steps down, the incoming CEO will, I predict, buy Bitcoin. And that is going to be like an earthquake, because the only thing that Berkshire has is tons and tons and billions of cash just waiting for opportunities. And I think that as Bitcoin, gets adopted globally, Berkshire Hathaway will potentially bend, but not while Warren is in control. And he will be stepping down, I believe, this year. I don't know. I just kind of wanted to throw that out there. Do you think that's crazy?
Well, he's old. He needs to retire.
Yeah, no, but he's smart.
Go to some tropical island and live like a king. Yeah.
No, but he's that smart. So let me just ask you, what why do you think that like you were getting into it, like why Stamp isn't catching on? Like, what are we missing? Like, are we not getting the message out there? Like, what do you think we need to do to get more people interested in like the SRC-20 side of things, Stamp the token, et cetera, et cetera? And I'm asking because you've been through cycles and you're an investor, and you know what it's like to go through this Bitcoin world.
Well, okay, two things. Number one, we needed to support the developers.
Okay.
And one thing I noticed during all the chatter last week or a few days ago, you have a few really nasty guys on Telegram that are just ripping into the developers, and it's just like, come on, it's not necessary. So just to support the developers with, if you can, funds. If not, then just moral support. And then number two, just if you can do what Bitcoin Ape does, Mr. Super Publicity, and hopefully we can get a listing, any listing, and just get the word out. And maybe some powerful people will take notice. Maybe you already have some powerful people that have been stacking Stamp, and they're just waiting for the right moment to do what they're going to do. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But it is the most immutable, permanent protocol, and it's been around now for 2 years. And there's a really good hardcore community of holders of both Stamp and Kevin. And I just don't see it dying. I just don't see it dying. And I'm not a member of the Ordi group or the dog group, but they're doing something right over there.
Yeah, I've actually listened to their spaces. Most of their spaces, like the leader of the Leo, he's an interesting guy. He's an art guy primarily, and then he made an art piece, the runestone, and then if you bought that art piece, he made this token, and he is pushing this token, and his followers are really pumping the whole message. Like when they get on there, they're fighting about how to build out the word, how to push the dog message, how to shill. And I think one of the things that I've noticed with the Stamp people is they're not shillers. They're just independent people. They're not shillers. They just come for independent reasons. And I don't see a lot of stamp shillers. I see stamp believers. And I think there's a difference between shilling and believing. I don't know. Am I off?
Well, I mean, yeah, we need more Bitcoin apes, you know. We need more of him that just gets out there and every single day just puts out tweets, puts out the message, and is relentless. You know, I put out the occasional tweet there, here and there. I'm mostly focused on Fair Dog, but you know, I post about what's going on with Stamp and uh, and the trading going on. So yeah, we'll see. You know, I mean, we got really hot way back in you know, early 2024. So hopefully we can get hot again. That was a period when a lot of altcoins really took off. You know, it was like a mini alt season during that time, and we really have yet to see that again. You know, this last major Bitcoin pump back in November, December, the alts didn't really get as high as they did back at 24. So I think we really need to see a full-on alt season to help with the hype.
Yeah, and you know, I'm kind of think. Here's the thing too, like Stamp, the SRC-20 tokens, they're all like fair mints in that we each mint them. There's no like KOLs, there's no teams and team allocations and all of that sort of stuff. You mint it, you buy it, you sell it. That's it. It would be interesting to do some like contests and giveaways, but I don't even think that the community has really kind of maybe come together to put some allocation together for some giveaways or something, because it's kind of hard because we're all individuals. Like it's not a Stamp was a very organic token. It's an individual thing, but it would be interesting if we could have some like fun giveaways, because I know they do a lot of that. If you're looking at the dog and the ruin stuff, they do a ton of giveaways. I don't see a ton of SRC-20 token giveaways.
Yeah, well, you do have, you know, I think this one user did give like a million stamp to developers, but
The SRC Pad, you mean?
no, this guy on the Telegram group, he gave like he sent like 500,000 stamp to Mike, and then he sent 500,000 to Ranamora. It's like a donation.
Wow,
For
that's great.
Yeah, I think one issue we have right now, one problem is the fact that KuCoin has so much. KuCoin has like 18 million, or sorry, 180 million, right? I think they have like 18% of the supply, and so I wish they had less, but they're the reason why the price went up so high, because at the end of February 2024 they were accumulating like crazy.
For sure, for sure. So I don't know. I think it's solid. I'm in agreement with you that we've got a solid protocol. The art is definitely popping, and that's what it should do, because that's what the whole purpose of the protocol is. And hey, the tokens are fun. I think there's a great opportunity for the Stamp SRC-20 token because it's the brand ambassador. I think that there's great opportunity for Kevin being obviously the first mint. And there's a pretty big story behind Kevin. And we're going to talk more about it next week, because I have Kevin Palooza that I'm planning for next SWA. That's going to be really fun. And then there's more artists coming in June, so everybody can stay tuned for that. But here's the thing. I think that we just need to chillax just a tad bit, have a little bit more fun with Stamp, because most of what I see happening is like, when's the listing? When's the listing? And yeah, that would be great. But you shared that if we get some DEXs onboarding here, we may not even need a SEX listing. We just need to get some DEXs on board. And while I'm here at the universe, I can tell you that the marketplace for the Stamp SRC-20 token was paused because we're waiting for APIs from the Stamp chain guys. Now, while we're waiting for that, there was a workaround similar to what the SRC Pad people are doing. There's going to be a pump fund model. But before you run and do any of these pump fund type things, let me tell you, you have to test this, because I've seen some stuff going down with the Odin fund stuff where people have lost their funds. The site got hacked. So this is nothing that you can just jump out there and do it overnight. The APIs is what we really need, but until those are like we have that, then the universe is a little bit in a waiting game for that. Okay, but an Odin pump fund for stamp is on its way, but people, there needs to be a lot more testing. The last thing we want to do is have people losing their stamp. They would lose their, you know what? They would lose their sauce. So we do have to be patient, but I agree with you. If we got some more decks in here, I don't think we necessarily need the sex listings. Yeah, we want to, but I don't think we necessarily need them. We need more fun, though. Do you think stamp, this is a silly question, but do you think stamp is fun enough? Doesn't even need to be fun. Like, why was Bitcoin fun when it started? Or what? Why did Bitcoin take off like this?
Why did Bitcoin take off?
Yeah, because I mean, like, there's people that you know, they got in and they're still here and they're not going anywhere. And then there's people coming in a scam and it hasn't taken off and they're like, I'm done. I'm finished.
Bitcoin started as its initial intention was to be a currency, a payment system. It was never meant to be a store of value. And it transformed into a store of value. And that's the way people mostly look at it today versus a payment system. I don't know about you, but I've only bought something with Bitcoin once when I first got into it. Ever since then, Bitcoin to me is like gold. It's digital gold. I don't ever want to spend it. I don't ever want to sell it. And I did last year sell a little bit out of necessity when it was like 50,000, 60,000, and now I highly regret what I did. So I'm not going to be selling Bitcoin.
Hey, just a quick question. Somebody's just asked me, are you outside, by the way? Because the microphone, we're getting a lot of wind. You are, aren't you?
No. There's a fan here. So.
Oh, it's the fan. Okay. Because somebody asked me, hey, are you outside? That was actually Sadie. Hey, love, are you outside or something? There's a heck of a lot of background noise while you're talking. That sounds better.
Yeah. Turn it off there.
Oh, okay, that's a fan. Yeah, no, I should have said something there. I'm inside right now. I'm in my hey, I'm gonna tell everybody what I'm wearing. I'm wearing my pink fluffy house coat. Don't I have a job? Yeah, I have a job, but today my job is to be in this pink fluffy house coat. Okay? I have a job, people. I'm not independently wealthy, for goodness sakes. That's why I'm here.
But you will be.
Will I be? Oh my God. Can you imagine? I'm not independently wealthy. But I do take time off for this because I actually am learning a lot and I love this, and I'm sharing my excitement for Bitcoin itself. And we were just talking about why did Bitcoin take off? Because I recently spoke to someone that in fact they picked up Bitcoin when it was just $500 and they never sold. And
that's the way to do it.
Yeah, and I mean, who could do that? Like, I mean, why was it so important, and has that changed? Because anything that's built on Bitcoin, like, remember the whole story, the origin story of Bitcoin. Like, I mean, what's going on here?
No, this is a game of patience. Anyone that buys Bitcoin today at 105,000, whatever it is, and holds it for 10 years are going to be very happy. They're not going to think about what they paid for it. They're going to think, oh my God, this is worth 1.5 million or whatever, you know. And hopefully, the same attitude of Stamp. Hopefully, Stamp gets traction and seen for what it is. Wow, I met the Stamp back in 2023, and now one Stamp is $25. Ooh, so 25 billion market cap. Wow.
Okay, so we're calling all Stamp community. We need a big, we need to have some big fun this summer. We need to get some contests rolling for Stamp SRC-20 token. It would be cool if we could start like just mini contests and start doing some more mind share, taking some more mind share in the CT verse here, because it's an attention game. And for as much as we love Stamp and its permanence, I think people will pay a little bit more attention if there's something that they can benefit from, you know, if they can maybe win something. So I would challenge all of the Stampers to think about that. What can we do to build some fun and excitement so that we can get the mind share rolling? Because we have all the other pieces. We've got the permanence, we've got we're on chain, we've got the attention of one of the largest sexes on the globe, being Binance. And so what would be the holdup? Maybe it's the mind share. Maybe they I don't think maybe, I think for sure they look at the mind share. And now with all this yapping and this Kaido, all this stuff that they're doing, and they're measuring the mind share, like how often has Stamp trended? Really? I'm not saying that the community isn't doing enough, because the community is doing lots, and I'm going to shout out some people here. I'm going to shout out the Bitcoin Ape, because the Bitcoin Ape does a ton for the SRC-20 community. Definitely going to shout you out, Fair Dog, because you're here. Heck yeah. And you're doing what you do. Shouting out Sadie Riggs. Yeah, definitely. Who else am I shouting out? I gotta shout out people, okay? Like frig, I gotta do it. Let me see who else am I shouting out. I'm gonna shout out Zide, ZYDE. I see you tweeting out there. That's right. Let's see who else I'm shouting out. I'm shouting out all of the Stamp care workers who bring Stamp to the forefront and are tweeting daily on the tweeting daily out there about Stamp. One Stamp tweet a day can help. And I think it's, you know what, peeps, I think it's more than just the permanence. I think there's something to this. There's something real. And we kind of talked about, okay, well, what's going to happen when the scarcity of Bitcoin hits? Will people become into Stamp? Like, will Stamp? Hey, Fair Dog, this is a weird question. Do you think Stamp will ever become a part of the strategic reserves?
No.
Oh, let's imagine it. No? Okay.
I think the best hope you could have here is Bitcoin becomes too expensive. Like one Bitcoin is $10 million or whatever, and people are looking for alternatives on the Bitcoin protocol to use store of value. Oh wow, there's this thing called Stamp that's the first of its kind, minted way back in 23, and it's only $23 for one. Oh, okay, I'll invest into this. That's the hope you have.
Interesting. Cool. Very cool. Bitcoin Ape, you're still around. Do you want to jump in here? What do you think? Will Stamp become a strategic reserve? Okay, maybe he's not around. Maybe he's not around. Very good conversation. What have we talked about in regards to Stamp SRC-20 that we should share today, so that peeps can get a little bit more information?
Just do your research, look into the protocol, different Bitcoin protocols, see which one is the best. And if you want to invest wisely, invest carefully, and have hope that SRC-20 will get where it needs to go in the upcoming bull run.
Absolutely. And let me tell you this. Okay, I got something good here to tell us. Tell me something good. Okay, we are actually going to be bringing on some pretty exciting stuff. So I don't know how much I can share. I don't know how much I can share. Yeah, I got you. Whoever's doing that, bring it on. I'm not sure how much I can share, but let me tell you this. The fan, I can still hear the fan a little bit. Sorry. I apologize. I can still hear that.
I'll mute my mic.
Okay. Yeah, that might be good. We're going to be bringing on some fun stuff here, people. If you have ideas, if you have ways that you would like to participate in the stamp community, bring it, DM me, Trudee Art, because I'd like to pump it up. Why do I want to pump it up? Because I think there's going to be some exciting stuff that I'm not at liberty to share right now that's coming. And I think that you need to participate. I think that you need to think about how you want to participate and start participating. How? You can tweet about what's going on in stamp. If it's SRC-20, that's great. If it's with the art, that's great. You can DM me to become a guest of the show. Let's just say that the more you participate, the better it's going to be for the whole community, and maybe specifically for yourself. That's all I can say right now. I don't want to get into it, but I think that participating is going to be a really great thing, because I might be doing some stuff. I like fun and I like games, and I like rewarding people that show up. So become more curious, start asking questions. How do you get involved? Um, jump into the fun of it, jump into the art side, the token side, do whatever makes you feel comfortable, but participate, because that's what we need to kind of build out the community and stamp. This community has been around since 2023, and it's only growing, and it started organically from Mike in Space introducing the protocol on top of Bitcoin, a more secure way to keep the art on chain. And that's the whole idea behind the stamp, is to securitize it. It's a data storage protocol, but as you know, we have the degen inside of us all, and people like to gamble, and gambling is actually a utility. Okay, don't let people fool you, it's a utility. So that's what we're talking about today, is the tokens, the token side of things. So imagine this conversation. Okay, today you do not need a time machine. You can get involved today. You don't even have to necessarily invest into Stamp specifically, or Kevin specifically, or Fair Dog. Just need to get more information about what's happening and participate in the community. Start investing in the community. Get to know people. Why? Because then you will be able to see what we see right now. And the people that really believe, like the people that have been here since minting, like there are people that minted that have not sold. And by the way, if you minted, you're still in profit. So there's a lot of people that are still here. Why are they still here? They're not leaving. They could sell and be in profit and leave, but they're not leaving because they know what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is freedom technology. And when you can build on freedom, this is like all of this building on Bitcoin is pretty amazing. Imagine when the suits get to discover Stamp. The suits, yeah, the corporates, the BlackRocks. I'm telling you, because I have a retail background in banking, they're coming here. I can tell you that much. They are coming here. Okay. I know my people. They like to make money. They become in a Stamp. Okay. Imagine when the first country comes to Stamp. Oh, you think it's a joke? Yeah, keep thinking it's a joke. It's not a joke. So think about all of the things that could potentially come here. And even if you don't invest in Stamp or the projects, start to get to know the community, find out more, because there's a reason why we're all here. We're here because Bitcoin matters like to us personally, and globally it matters. And you're going to see it building momentum, even around the water cooler at work with your neighbors who might think Bitcoin is a scam. It is only going to start to build in the zeitgeist. And you can literally say that you don't need a time machine, because at least you have the information. And we want to start having some fun. So if you have some ideas on how to pump it up and get Stamp out there and maybe be the next KOL for Stamp, then jump in and share that, because that's what SWA is all about. And before I leave, if somebody can step up here, because I see that Fair Dog had to slip away. Thanks, Fair Dog. Somebody else come up here and just come up here for 5 minutes with me, people. Laser Dog, I've never heard from you. Unmute yourself and come up here. Okay. Let's see who else. Mats, you got a microphone by you? Sadie, you got a microphone? You boy Nancy, I don't know if you're still there, but
Hey, what's up, Trudee?
I'm gonna have a show with you.
Where's
I know
Papa?
that. Oh, Bitcoin Ape is back.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening. Sorry, because I was traveling between the airport and down the area where,
Are you in the airport?
Yeah, I was now traveling, so that's why I'm not, hearing that much.
That's okay. That's okay. That's all right.
But I'm here
So
listening you, and all exciting to listening what you are saying, by the way.
we're gonna round out the show here. We got about 10, 15 max here. But I'd like to have thank you, Bitcoin Ape, for coming up. I know you're in the airport. You can't really talk. Totally cool. Somebody else, hey, get up here and just come and talk to me for a quick little bit. Okay, come on. Come on, peeps. Get up here. Don't leave me alone. And I want to thank Fair Dog. Thank you, Fair Dog, for jumping on here, for coming in. And Fair Dog has sent me a message. Fair Dog had to make an exit. And thank you, sir, for coming and sharing your Bitcoin knowledge with us. That's great. But hey, when we do these SRC-20 spaces, peeps, hoping that more people can jump in, because we've been doing art space after art space, and we wanted to give the Stamp people a little bit of an opportunity to come out here and chill a little bit, chillax. I'll start singing. Hey, let me, before somebody comes up here, let me plug the universe and say this. Because we do have the art for sale on the bitcoinuniverse.io, please go there, take a look. There are 8 pages of stamps. Oh my God, there's 10 pages. There's, wow, a lot of listings. I see a lot of art for Luan Breeze. Very nice. See, oh, Morty Len. Perfect. We've got art here from Tony, which is an artist that does a lot of portraits of different world leaders. He's got one here of the North Korean leader. Yep. And he does a whole collection on Kiss, the rock band Kiss. Very cool. I did mention Morty Lennis here. HNFT Pepe, quite a few pieces of his. And there's a lot of secondary sales. So there are people that are actually listing the art that they might have bought elsewhere. So what's nice on the Bitcoin universe, the artists can upload their artwork for sale, and you, the collector, can also upload your artwork for sale as well. And here's an interesting question that I have that anybody can answer, or just think about this. Here is an interesting question that I have, okay? I've been thinking we need more questions out here. Now, what do we think? Is Stamp, okay, when NFTs come back, how important do you think that Stamp will be? Like in the NFT renaissance, can and will Stamp be a leader, and why? Because I think there is a renaissance coming, okay? I think the NFTs are going to be coming back in a big way. And can Stamp be a leader in that whole renaissance? I think there's a potential there. Okay, if nobody's coming up here, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stamp us out of here. I'm going to stamp us out of here. That's what I'm going to do. So I want to thank everybody for coming to the show today. And thank you for coming and stamping with attitude. We're going to get it. And even if I've got to continue these shows on my page, I will do that. But as long as the universe has me out here, I'm going to come and keep doing this. So thank you, Bitcoin Universe, for creating a platform where we can get everything Bitcoin. Make sure you go and check out the bitcoinuniverse.io. And remember, the Bitcoin Universe has got quite a bit happening with Op20. Go and check it out. There's Op names that you can now mint. There is Mezcal. Hey, Mezcal people, just calm down for a moment. There's been a lot of stuff happening there, and there's been some upgrades to securitize the UTXOs. You can see it on the timeline here on the page, all of the upgrades that have happened, and you can go into the TG. So simmer down, okay? I'm just being real here, okay? There's Runes support. You go and check it out. I mentioned the Runes Telegram, not the Telegram, but the trading bot. There's also Rune Zero. Go and check that out. Dust20, been here all day, still here. You can check that out. There's the marketplace. There's an indexer. There's an explorer. Tap. That's what the whole entire Bitcoin universe is built on. So you can take a look at Tap, and you can take a look at some of the tools for the Tap marketplace, like the Tap Zero, which is the OG pass. Take a look at that. There's DMT. DMT is pretty big. Digital matter theory, full support for that. There's a marketplace. I'm looking at it right now. Lots of stuff if you're into DMT. There's UNAT. There's some second gen cats here out for sale here. There's a lot of different UNAT projects that if you're wanting to get ready for that renaissance, that NFT market, that's out here. LRC-20, my gosh, they have stuff here too. There's their marketplace, got a few listings here. We should probably do like a space on LRC-20. And I mentioned for Stamp, there's the marketplace for the artwork, so you can go take a look at that. There's also bitmaps. You can take a look at all of the bitmaps that are for sale currently. I wouldn't be fading bitmaps, okay? Bitmaps.
Yeah, bitmaps sounds good. I like bitmaps.
Okay, who is that? Who are you, sir?
I'm the guy commenting on what you're talking about. How you doing?
How you doing? Oh my God. Okay, how you doing? How you doing? Where you from?
I'm from Baltimore.
Baltimore. Okay. Come on. You with the Sox? The Baltimore Sox, like Baltimore?
No, Baltimore Sox. What are you talking about? That's Boston. Baltimore
Oh my
Orioles.
God.
The Baltimore Sox.
Oh
Let's talk about bitmaps. Why do you like bitmaps so much?
Oh my God! No, let's go on that. The Baltimore Sox. Oh my God, that's too funny.
That's one for the day.
Hey, see, you didn't think you'd get some of that sauce. You didn't think you'd get some of that sauce.
You drizzled the sauce all over me, baby.
Hot sauce, hot sauce.
You put the hot sauce all over me. Watch out.
Okay.
Now you got to lick it off.
Oh, so you're one of those, are you? You're one of those. Let's maybe move it back to bitmap. Back to bitmap, yes. Sir.
That's fine. That's fine with me.
Back to the bitmaps, okay? What do you know about bitmaps?
I know that they're very scarce.
I know that so you're a maxi, are you?
Maxi of what? Bitcoin?
Bitmaps.
No, I'm not a maxi. No.
Okay, tell me. Okay, so how do you have bitmaps? How did you get into them? Because listen, this is a stamp show, but hey, I'm winding it up and I'm up for it. You wanna bitmap me? Give me some bitmaps here.
Well, I'm here to learn, but I've been following bitmaps for about 2 months now. I've been following the price. I've been following the adoption. I think there's a real possibility that this thing takes off. So I like it.
Why? Okay, so like for those,
I'll tell you why.
Yeah, that's it.
Because a lot of people aren't going to buy Bitcoin at $200,000.
Okay.
So you could get, and let's be honest, Bitcoin being money is gone. This is just we're never going to spend our Bitcoin for coffee, you know? So if it's going to be a store of value, that means that everything on the network should be a store of value, right? And bitmaps has a lot of scarcity, and you can actually do something with them. You know, you can build on them. I think it's really early, but as the price of Bitcoin goes up, I think there's a good chance that the adoption, that new people that want to be in Bitcoin can get all the same features, and they can buy bitmaps instead. So it's kind of like a proxy. That makes sense.
Okay. So listen, just quickly here, if we want to chat GPT it, a bitmap, also
let's do it.
As a raster graphic, is a digital image represented by a grid of pixels, each with its own color and collectively forming the image. So unlike vector graphics, which use mathematical equations and define shapes, bitmaps store information pixel by pixel. This makes them ideal for detailed images, but can result in larger file sizes. So, hey, we have somebody on here that's into bitmaps. And that's what a bitmap is essentially. And they're saying that, bitmaps can be used as a proxy. And I would argue so can stamps. Are you familiar with stamps? Sure. How could bitmaps and stamps work together? Like, how could we cozy up to one another?
I think, well, I don't know about that because I'm not I don't own bit stamps. What I'm saying is, I think anything built inside of Bitcoin with scarcity will have value because of the network effect. Just like Ethereum, just like all the NFTs went crazy. But you got to have scarcity. If you don't have any scarcity, then it's just like Solana. You know? So what are you guys doing with stamps? What's SRC? What is this kind of like a bit? Is this like a bitmap?
Okay, so here's the thing. First of all, you just walked into the latter part of the show, which is about to end. But you had that cool voice. You what up me. You're like, I did. How you doing? You did that. Okay.
Yeah, got you going. All
so
right.
you got me. Okay.
All right.
Then I made the slip up. Okay, and I called it the Baltimore Sox.
Yeah, you did. You made the slip up.
Oh my gosh, it's the Boston. Okay, but listen. So we were doing like Bitcoin Universe is actually. Are you outside, by the way? Like, is the wind punching you? Like, what is going on? Are you fighting with the wind?
Yeah, let me get my microphone changed. Give me a second.
Yeah, like, I mean, it sounds
There we
like the
go.
wind is trying to kill you or
Is
something.
this better? Is it going good?
Yeah, it's better, okay?
Yeah,
Because
okay,
like
good.
it's a lot. It's a lot.
Well, I'm by the
Anyhow,
Chesapeake Bay, hon. All right.
okay. Okay, well, this is
All
good.
right.
This is good. Okay, now let's get back to it, okay? Because you're not supposed to be in the real world. You're supposed to be in the digital world. We don't want
I
to
am
know that.
digital. I am a digital man.
Okay, but you're talking about real places. We don't want to know about that right now, okay?
Okay,
But I
hon.
like your how you doing. I love it.
Okay, okay, hon.
Stick with that. Okay. Oh my God, you're calling me hun, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm
That's a
good with it.
Baltimore. That's a Baltimore thing, hon. We call
Is it?
people hun. Yeah, we call people hun here.
Okay, it's not just okay. Okay,
Yeah.
ladies. Okay, I'll let him do it. But back to the whole conversation here. First of all, I just want to share with you that the Bitcoin universe itself is a actual wallet, and what they do, it's like a marketplace and an indexer. It's just a place for all things Bitcoin. So the platform of the Bitcoin universe is bringing together all of the different protocols to one place. So you get the wallet, indexer, explorer, marketplace, everything. Okay. And today we are talking about the protocol of SRC-20. Those are the tokens for the STAMP protocol. STAMP itself is just an acronym, and it stands for Secure Transferable Artifacts Maintained Permanently. If you followed the whole Bitcoin craze, like all of this, the fun stuff, the BRC-20, the ordinals, the bitmaps that came out in 2023, well, STAMP came right after, just maybe a month or two after ordinals, BRC-20s. And the difference between the STAMP and the ordinal stuff is just the storage part of it. Okay. What do I mean by that? Most of the stuff that's done in BRC-20 ordinals is stored within the witness data. STAMP stores all of the data within the UTXOs. So it's a data storage protocol. And the whole, I guess, excitement for many of those that love Bitcoin is that now we can do art specifically on top of Bitcoin and make sure that it's permanent. So those maxis, those Bitcoin maxis that love Bitcoin so much, that if they get upset, which they have, they couldn't scrub the data. And that's the difference between, that's the key difference between, say, a STAMP and an ordinal. It's just the storage of the data. But across the board, it's on top of Bitcoin. We love Bitcoin. Okay. And so I was curious what you thought of, bitmap and SRC-20 uniting, and could they even do that? Because they're on two different protocols.
I don't know.
But I do agree with you on bitmaps. I do agree with you on bitmaps. And I think the scarcity is the important part. And there's scarcity in STAMP too. Why? Because it's on chain. STAMP is on chain.
Well, how much? What's the supply of STAMP? What's the supply?
Okay. So when you talk about STAMP, there's two parts to STAMP. There's STAMP the art, which we do talk about, but today we weren't focusing on the art. Every Wednesday we'll generally talk to an artist and we'll talk about their art. Okay. Today we're focused on the tokens, the SRC-20, the equivalent to BRC-20. Now, one of the tokens on SRC-20 is called STAMP. It's kind of identical to ORDI. Okay, that was on BRC-20. It's $1 billion supply. It's 1 billion supply. Okay.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but you know what? It's secured on top of Bitcoin.
Yeah, but that's a lot. That's too much. We got to go back to bitmaps.
Okay.
Yeah, $1 billion's too much.
Why is $1 billion too much?
It's too much. Too much. Oh, you're same problem. The same thing. The same thing with anything that's $1 billion. There's always going to be a large cell supply.
But you've got 8 billion people. A billion? You think $1 billion is too much, really?
Yeah, you can't use those numbers. 8 billion. There's about half of those billion people can't even turn on a phone.
So are we early?
No, you're late.
Oh my God.
Cryptocurrency is actually becoming very out of fashion in general. It's actually
So, like
yeah,
in Baltimore,
no, everywhere.
like, how do you figure, sir?
Well, the top is when the government adopts it. You're at the top. You're basically, this is as big as you get. Where else you going? What I like about bitmaps is there's less bitmaps than there are Bitcoins.
Okay, how many bitmaps are there?
I don't know, but there's less than BTC. Ask Ruck.
But here's the thing: would there be bitmap? Would there be bitmap without Bitcoin?
No.
So then, isn't Bitcoin the whole point of anything?
The network is. Just the hash is.
and we're all on top of the network. So that's the power of Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the miners, you guys, the miners got to do something to get fees. So if this generates fees for miners, then yeah, maybe it's got a future. But it's not a collectible until you start putting that art on there, right?
Oh yeah, no, they're stamp art. But here's the thing: the whole idea of something being immutable, does that not have value?
Not really. What are you going to do with all that child porn on the Bitcoin blockchain? There's a lot of that stuff. There's a lot of that stuff.
Okay.
There's a lot of that stuff. There's a lot of that stuff on there too. People don't talk about that.
No,
so
no. Yeah. We did not think that would be brought up. No, we didn't.
Well, the point of it is that that's immutable. Does that mean it's worth money? Nope.
No, but if you want to store data and you want to have it secure, does that have value?
It doesn't. It doesn't.
What part of it does have value? What part of security has value?
No security has value. That's why security is so cheap.
So if something can be scrubbed,
business is a race to the bottom. You're going into the business world. You're going into economics. Business is a race to the bottom. That's how all business works. Whoever can provide the best for the cheapest, that doesn't make money. What makes money is collectibles.
Yeah, security though. Security, rarity.
Yeah, Bitcoin's got the security.
That's right. So we're both on Bitcoin.
Like that's good. I mean, you got that going for you.
Yeah, no, and I'm up for the bitmaps, and I'm also up for the stamp because of.
But there's more people using. But the problem is more people are using Solana right now. Solana's got all the dead people on there. All the brain rots on Solana. People that are on Bitcoin are actually, smart. But the brain rot people, they're on Solana. Listen, Bitcoin's a total hunk of junk. It's a big pile of shit.
Oh my God.
And the reality of this whole conversation is that Bitcoin needs to subsidize the fees. So if this is going to generate fees for the miners, that's good.
You're making me feel like I'm Glenn Beck now. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to apologize.
Why are you being upset? This is a good conversation. You get I push back on your worldview, and you get to prove me wrong.
Okay, I love it. I absolutely.
Yeah, what's the problem? It's not personal.
It's business. It's business. It's absolutely.
That's the problem. Is that Bitcoin was never supposed to be a business, but they turned it into a business, and that's why Bitcoin's a big hunk of shit. Because they turned Bitcoin into a business, but the first Bitcoin protocol was not a business. It was decentralized money. Now what we have is centralized mining that needs fees. They need revenue. They have earning reports. They have equipment they got to pay for. The whole network is the whole Bitcoin network is a dictatorship. So
would you be in line with Roger Ver then?
I'm not as anti-Bitcoin as Roger Ver. I don't think that Bitcoin needs to be what it was on the Silk Road to be valuable. But I do agree with a lot of what Roger Ver says. I just don't have the same biased. I think that Bitcoin, I agree with more about what John McAfee said about Bitcoin. If I had to align myself with someone about Bitcoin, it would be McAfee.
Why?
Well, what do you mean why? Do you know what John McAfee said about Bitcoin?
Well, you're going to tell us why. Like, we have people listening to us. I didn't just phone you. Like, we're not dating, sir, and we're not having a personal conversation here. There's people on the line that want to hear us. So tell us what
Oh,
he
okay,
said.
yeah. So basically, Bitcoin is they govern the blocks very small, so they could always trace the transactions. The normal, the appropriate way is where you make all your fees off of microtransactions.
Oh, okay. You walking? Are you walking? You got to stop for a second. Are you walking?
Yeah, but I turned the mic off.
The BTC is moving.
It's not working.
What do you think about that? Hey, what's up?
Okay, we can't hear you now. You got to get louder.
Do you hear me?
Yeah, you there?
Okay, there we go. Go for it.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. How you doing? What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm good, thanks. But what do you think about, the companies are coming now, for tokenization on Bitcoin and, through tokens and art and all the
Louder,
Bitmart.
guys. Louder, guys.
Do you hear me?
He's the only one talking, not me.
Do you hear me?
Now, you know what? We don't hear you. Stop saying it. Speak up. Put some bass in your voice. Stop whispering. Let's go.
He's in an airport.
Well, I don't know. He says something about companies coming on.
Do you hear me?
Jesus.
Yeah,
Christ.
go for it.
Yeah, I was saying now, say that Bitcoin is moving in the new paradigm, of course it's still a digital money, but what do you think about like Bitmap or Stamp or SRC-20? Now also is now data storage, by the way. So like everything, like every technology, because in the end, Bitcoin is only a technology, by the way. So it's evolving as a data storage.
You do not want Bitcoin to be referred to as a technology. Please don't do that.
It is. It is.
No, don't do that though. It hurts Bitcoin.
Okay. Tell us
What is it?
why. Tell us why. Because I'm here for it a little bit more to punch back. Because I want to fight right now. I want to fight.
Yeah. So the problem with Bitcoin as a technology, it has very little transactions. It has very restricted block fees. And as the transaction, very high fees. As there's more transactions on the network, the fees get higher. So why would you do all these transactions and then you're just paying more and more and more money as the network gets more bloated? Bitcoin is an incentive network. I'll give you an example. I'll use Monero as an example. Monero has dynamic block sizes. As there are more transactions that are processed, the fees get cheaper. Bitcoin's the opposite. As more transactions come onto the network, the fees get higher. So if everybody starts clouding the network with data and they turn this into a AWS system like Google Cloud, the fees will be so high that no one will be able to even use it as money. Now, the banks will always be able to use it as money. But like I said, Bitcoin is now a business, which is fine. But you're not going to be able to put... What?
Sorry, but it's like any currency. The dollar.
No, I just told you that there's a currency that's not the opposite. No, I just told you.
It's a business. Gold is a business.
No. No.
It's a currency, but it's like
this is nonsense.
Like before, like coal and chips.
This is nonsense.
Trading chips and coals for anything, but you need something in front of you to trade dollars. You need euros. You need anything. You need oils. You need gas. You need anything.
The fees to transact in gold do not increase by the transaction volume.
Indeed, it's evolving. The more
you can keep saying this, but
going high.
You can keep saying this, but that's not the truth.
It's my opinion, but I'm agree with you. Now Bitcoin is a business, but it's always be a business since the start.
Okay, fine, whatever. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is that Within the next 10 years, there's not going to be enough fees on the main chain to support the miners. Jack Dorsey's already stealing all the fees through his Lightning. He's earning a 9% yield. He's going to be earning a 9 to 10% yield on the Lightning Network. The Bitcoin miners is what keeps the network secure. The Bitcoin miners is already basically a business that most people end up going bankrupt. So how are you going to
subsidies?
What subsidies?
Oh, they'll subsidize them.
They'll just give them free money.
That's what they do in business. Yeah. Like, well, how do you think half of these tech people are in business? It's not because they're selling their products.
So you don't have sovereignty.
Being subsidized. No, what
okay,
world
fine.
are we in?
Yeah.
There's no sovereignty. Like we want to have this conversation. So this is a great conversation. Where is their sovereignty, sir?
Monero.
Yes. Yes.
You can find it in Monero.
Okay,
so are you listen, I like I said, I'm not all the way with Roger Ver because Roger Ver doesn't even want to participate in Bitcoin because of what happened. I, on the other hand, still will participate, but I'm not underneath the illusion that this is sovereignty. This is Solana. No. You're basically turning Bitcoin into Solana, which is fine. I don't care. Make some money. Who cares? But it is a joke. It's a complete, if you think it's not a joke, then, and if you think this will always hold itself together, it won't. The network will break. It will break. It's only a matter of time.
Okay, so now we have the question. So why are we here on Bitcoin? Why are we here on Bitcoin?
Because it's called momentum. So it's just like anything else. Do you want to get on the plane that can fly, or do you want to get on the plane that's in the repair shop? You know, you're in momentum. We're in a market capitulation.
And the momentum is with Bitcoin. So then where do you stand right now? Hey, what happened to the voices here? Am I the only one still on?
I'm here.
Is it time to end the...
Hold on, I'm back. What was
you're back. Okay. So okay. We're going someplace, but we have to know where we're going. If we don't know where we're going, every road will get us nowhere. Okay.
That's where Bitcoin is.
Okay. Hold on, sir, because it depends where you're at. Okay. Like you have very good knowledge. This is not, you've got knowledge. That is for sure. Certified knowledge speaker here. Okay. But if we don't know where we're going, every road will get us nowhere. Where are we going? What do you think the purpose of Bitcoin is, sir?
Right now, to absorb the money supply. Bitcoin is, you ever seen the old cartoons of a big fire and you got the two cartoons just throwing coals into the fire and then the train's going down the track? Well, Bitcoin is the fire. The fiat is the coals. And what Bitcoin's acting like right now is a fiat money pit. It absorbs, because it's so divisible. You're so many zeros to the right, right? You're just so, and you can keep on creating zeros, by the way. You know, it is software. You can just keep on creating more Bitcoin. It is possible. But
with the quantum is what you're saying, right?
No, I mean, like, meaning they could easily put a tail emission into Bitcoin to make sure the network, but that's what they should do. What they should do,
oh my God,
is recreate Monero on Bitcoin. Because Monero has, if you look at everything Monero has, that's what Bitcoin should be. It should be a tail emission. So the miners have an incentive to mine indefinitely, right? And then the second thing is you should have dynamic block sizes that reduces fees as more people use it. That way, you actually, but if they did it that way, the institutional money wouldn't come in. So anyway, Bitcoin at the moment is acting like a a hole in the ground where fiat is just dirt being poured in. The problem is that Bitcoin doesn't need fiat money to work. So what a lot of people don't understand, and they get sidetracked, is they go, well, the value of one Bitcoin is $100,000. No. That's the data feed. That's the currency chart. You're looking at a currency. You're looking at a currency pair. Fuck that. That data feed means nothing. The network does not need fiat to run, right? So you can, if whether Bitcoin was $1 or $1 million, Bitcoin will work. So it doesn't. The fiat value of Bitcoin is meaningless.
I agree to some extent. So then what is the point? Because we always have to have a point.
Well, the point is that at the moment, Bitcoin is in the best years of its life. And I believe that there will be a point soon where you're going to start getting diminishing returns, and it'll basically be a banking network. I think the bankers will own Bitcoin's network, not the people. And Hal Finney,
that is certain. I've said that. That is certain, sir. So then
and Hal Finney said the same thing.
Okay, I believe that. I call them the professionals, and I always say the professionals have arrived, okay? But then, sir, with all respect to us as people, who are we?
We're plebs. We are plebs.
Okay, but who are we when we want to pay our bills, sir? Who are we when we want to pay our rent, when we want to pay for our food, when we want to have a little bit of fun with our family? Like, we can think about all the things that you shared, but who are we? Like, what are we to gain from being here on Bitcoin? Like, why do you think we're here?
Oh, I see. So you, well, I would assume that people in here are not late adopters.
But so some would be. There are people that have been here at the early stage. They were here from day one. They were in the conference when nobody else was. Okay, so there are those people that are here, but there are new people that are coming in for the first time. Do we now, like, is this the Titanic? We say no. Like, well,
that's a very interesting point. I would say if you're new to Bitcoin, that you should approach it. You should only buy the ETF, by the way.
Lot of mercy.
Just buy the ETF. If you want self-custodialship money, then get Monero.
Why?
There's no point in having on-chain Bitcoin. There's absolutely no point. Because unless you have enough of it, it doesn't mean anything.
Okay, so let's spread it out now. Let's say for even people that are creatives that have come here, because there's many creatives within crypto, like many of even the early adopters.
We'll call them artists.
Yes, they're wanting to put their intellectual property, their mind space on top of the mother chain, the God chain. Should they not come here, sir?
No, they certainly can.
And do you not see a viability for art, sir? Like, have you been in history? Like, the art never dies, sir. And why should it not be upon
most people's art become famous well after their death?
A lot of mercy.
That's the truth. The truth is, most people's art most artists become famous after they die.
Do you not see a viable opportunity for artists to come to Bitcoin and put their art on top of Bitcoin, and for people that are collectors and people that are supporters of these artists to come and have a piece?
Be very careful what ends up on the blockchain. As I pointed out earlier, it's immutable. Be very careful what you allow, because once you open up the door to any degenerate, not saying that people in here are degenerates, but once anybody can put anything they want on the blockchain, it'll end up looking like New York City in the 1980s. There'll be some beautiful art, and then there'll be some stuff we used to call snuff. The keyword snuff. Art is very individualistic. And when you open up the blockchain to allow everyone, unadvised or unsupervised contributions,
Yeah.
you could end up with something that you might not want. You do realize you know what a I don't even think most people understand the laws of money laundering. You know, if you send a Bitcoin transaction to somebody with nothing typed in the memo, that the IRS can consider that money laundering?
Oh my God.
Because if you don't know the other person on the other side of the address, and you leave the memo line blank, they can consider that money laundering. I am a very John McAfee point of view with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is
I listen, you bring some good stuff, but I'll tell you, do you recognize that we are universes unto ourselves, and you are a different universe than I, and then the next and the next and the next? Because the worldviews that you're bringing are very interesting, but we live on two different planets. You understand this, right?
Well, the blockchain exists in both of them.
Yes, but I see it so differently from you, but I do appreciate how you see it.
Can I ask you a question?
Go for it.
How many people do you think in this space or in future Bitcoin conversations know that people uploaded child pornography to the Bitcoin blockchain?
I did not think about that.
How many people do you think know about it?
I don't think that there are many people that know about that.
I don't even think I think if Donald Trump knew about it, he shut down the strategic reserve tomorrow.
But here's the problem with what you're saying, because everywhere you go, there is trauma and there is a lot of degeneracy.
The material is illegal.
Yeah, but guess what?
That's beyond. No, you can't don't do that.
It's not rational. It's not rationalizing.
You're doing a bad thing right now.
No, sir. I appreciate what you're saying, but you do not have autonomy over my words, sir. I'm a words master. I am a word master. You don't have autonomy. I run the words here, sir. I run the words.
Well, fair enough. Go ahead.
Okay, so don't come with me with the words, because I am the master of words. Okay,
I am very well equipped to words.
I know. I can tell, but
I have the best words.
I have even greater words, sir.
My words are far better than your words.
Oh, my words could duplicate your words and go beyond your words, sir.
My words are in another planet.
My words are beyond, and they're the greatest and the bestest and the biggest. Okay, too cute. But here's the thing, okay? Anywhere you go, the type of thing that you talk about exists anywhere you go. Like, it exists everywhere. So what do? Do we shut down everything because it exists everywhere? The things that you're talking about are absolutely not correct, that they are happening, they are wrong. But what are you suggesting? Like, how do you gatekeep for one, and then all must suffer?
No, it's not about gatekeeping. It's about when you turn Bitcoin into a data storage system, you now are building a different ecosystem other than digital gold.
So then how do you stop it from being data storage?
Well, I'm not a dev, but I'm pretty sure that's what all this arguing's been about.
Yeah, like, see, so here's the thing, like,
I personally don't care. Meaning, I don't care. I think Bitcoin's a broken down car that people are just trying to. I think Bitcoin is a beautiful Lamborghini on top of a Ford or Chevrolet Cavalier.
Okay, so here's the real question. When did you first invest in Bitcoin?
2015.
Yeah, there you go. Booyaka, booyaka. Now we got it. The haves and the have-nots. Here's the haves and the have-nots, folks. Those that have.
That's fair too.
Okay. Yeah, sir. So your energy is built based on the fact that you have the power now to say the words that you have. But for those that have not experienced the rise in Bitcoin that you have,
I agree.
You can now use new words. That's how it works in the world, sir. That your words change based on your economy. So you come with these libertarian type words. But if you, sir, had come after the fact and you were new to Bitcoin, you would have different words. And your words would be ones that you would be hunting for hope. You would be hunting for a future. Okay?
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Okay,
Are you?
always ask questions.
Okay. Are we talking strictly about monetary value going up? Are we talking about number go up?
You see, here's the thing. Like I've always had a problem with just number go up, because I think there should be value. But what is
Okay.
value to people? Because people have different. Like if you even ask what's your number, somebody could say more. Like I mean, so we will never get to a place.
Yeah,
of,
yeah, yeah. There's an old man that said, they said, how much money's enough? And he says, always one more dollar. Always one more dollar, right? You can be greedy.
Yeah, so like I think there's a lot of Bitcoin people that, because they have the economy, the level of economy that they have, they come and they just like they fart in a room, because your words are almost like a fart. Like here we are, we're having a
Sure.
beautiful
It's a burp.
conversation. It's
Yeah.
the scent is just right, and you just came in and you farted. You're like, and it's like
Yeah.
you stink. Not like literally, because you're very
That's
smart
fine.
and all
Yeah,
that.
but so everything that you're projecting right now is just your personal view, right? Like, so it's not, it's your opinion. That's fine.
Yes,
So
exactly.
I'm not
So
affected by that.
yeah, exactly. And that's what
So
I actually adore about you that I don't know, is that the fact that you can understand these are words and that you have to examine the words. We're neither speaking the truth nor lies. These are
I have a
words.
question though. My question is this.
Okay.
So a person that's getting into Bitcoin in 2025 who missed the last 10 years,
Yeah.
what are you saying that this is what the network can offer them besides the 100% returns, or what do you
No.
understand?
Okay, I don't think that you can get into Bitcoin and think that it's going to save your life. I think that you get into Bitcoin understanding that the leaders and the ones that have the pen to write the rules, this is where they're going. So you need to understand it, and you need to be prepared to receive the rewards of understanding it. Like you can't just sit outside of it and be on TikTok and be protesting, okay? Because there's a lot of that going on. Like you can't just go in one room to get your worldview. You've got to go into the room of the Alex Jones, and you got to go into the room of the Bitcoin Maxi. Like you got to go everywhere to get a slice of what's really happening out there. And that's what I do. And I'm seeing that there's benefit to the person that's fresh off of the crypto boat coming into Bitcoin. It's worth coming in here, because Bitcoin is not just about number go up. You're going to be a part of the future, because they're building the future economy on top of Bitcoin.
Okay, fair. That's very well true. That could be very well true. Absolutely. I don't disagree with any of that. How does that, so the question would be, what are you building? What was in the space that someone's going to, it's not going to be art. Art's not going to be the future economy. So what economical, it's not going to be the economy.
Art is so important. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but listen, come on, real estate, health, military, those are like 90% of the economy. You said economy. You didn't say collectibles.
Oh my God!
If
I could tell you where I thought the world was going,
nobody is going to store. Listen to what I'm about to tell you.
Okay, go ahead.
Nobody is going to store sensitive data on Bitcoin. Nobody is going to store your health records on Bitcoin. Nobody.
Oh my God, you're so not correct here, buddy. But go ahead.
All right, go ahead. You tell me who's doing that.
Go ahead. All your data is going to be stored on top of crypto.
You said crypto.
Yeah.
You said that doesn't. Hold on. Where is Bitcoin HIPAA compliant? You are saying these things, and I'm giving you real world feedback, and you can't tell me how is Bitcoin HIPAA compliant?
Okay, peeps, he's talking about the health insurance portability and accountability. Okay, that's the compliance. It's a crucial aspect of protecting sensitive patient data. It involves implementing physical network and process security measures to safeguard like protected health information, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so that's what he's talking about. People will sign over their rights, sir. They will do it.
Oh, okay.
They will do it.
Why?
We are moving into a time of where people will handle. Have you not heard of manufactured consent?
I have.
They are manufacturing consent, sir. They will do it. Were you here when they had the lockdown, sir?
Of course.
Were you here, or where were you?
What do you mean?
They locked down our world, sir. Did you see what happened when they locked down the world? I'm not going to say, because
what does that got to do with a network?
Because, sir, people will hand over their rights when
half of the country did, not the whole country.
Okay, but that means that there's more work to do, perhaps. Because
so are you saying? So hold on. Is your worldview?
I don't believe in all that stuff. I believe in the right to autonomy, the right to no pokey poke.
Then why are you on a public ledger?
Because that's where they're taking you, sir. You cannot run that.
Get
okay.
Get off the subway. It's a crashing train.
Go
to Monero. Go to Monero quickly.
Yeah, but let's be honest. Okay, we're having a lot of fun, but to be honest, sir, if I told you what was going to happen,
I
would scare you. And that's why there's probably a lot of preppers, probably a lot of people.
I want to hear what you got to say. I would like to. Can you give me the short version?
Okay. Oh no, I won't. I will not, because I have too much data within me.
Well, then I will listen to the long version.
I am an OI, sir. I am an OI. I have too much data in with, and if I told you what was going to happen, I know for a fact, sir. Yes, you would have some information coming back, but you would have chills if you saw the world that was ahead of us. I see it. I'm a future.
Well, I would like to hear what you have to say.
Unfortunately, I cannot. But I do. I want to say how much I enjoyed you.
Well, that is a very large disappointment, because
I know it is.
You have all of this hyperbole with no.
Yes.
You're not going to give me any substance.
But
You're just going to say
in future, if you come back, if you come back, I will reveal in subsequent shows. Yes, I will. Okay. Subsequent shows, I will reveal what I believe. What did you just say?
Huh?
What did you just say?
I say you're damn right I'm going to come back.
Well, yeah, because see, iron sharpens iron.
That's right, baby.
And you, sir, are formidable opponent. You are. You are not what they call a. So you said something word like a pleb, like an NPC. That is not what you are.
Rock hard.
You have the full range of your faculty. You understand what is going on. You do.
I got big balls.
Calm down, okay?
I'm rock hard. Okay.
Hey, let me finish.
All right,
let me finish. Thank you. I just want to say I appreciate all of the words that you have shared. None of what we've said is either truth or a lie, but these are things that we must consider, because we are on the most important asset of our lifetime. There will be conversations that are had that have never been had. You have brought up some stuff that we haven't even thought of, okay? But there is tremendous opportunity and there are threats. Whenever you're looking at a plan, there's always opportunity and there are threats. And I see massive opportunity and threats. And if I exposed what I see coming, it would make you shudder. But there's always light. There's always light. But not everybody's going to make it. Unfortunately, not everybody's going to make it. I can't share with you any more than that, but I will say this. Thank you very much for coming all the way from Baltimore.
I followed you. So please follow me back so I can be of notice of your next space.
Yes, and just so you know, I
won't be speaking again either. I only be a listener.
No, you have to speak.
Because I love the way you talk to me.
God.
I love it.
Lord have mercy. Okay, listen to this.
I have a 9-inch erection right now.
Oh my God, this is not good, people. This is not good. You need to mute yourself now. Okay? Thank you.
Yes.
Got it. People, scrub your brain. Come back next week for SWA. We are going to have Kevin Palooza. We'll always have a little bit of time for these these rants and raves and these shares and take from it what you will. Yeah, because it's Bitcoin, baby. So this has been another episode of SWA.
Take it, baby.
Oh my God, dude. Thank you. Thank you. I am kind. If we got some others on here, like
please follow me back, universe.
Yeah, and I am not specifically the universe, but yeah, I'm sure they'll give you a follow. I'm a space host, but I want to thank you so much.
Well, then
coming.
find me. I'm here for you.
Absolutely.
Anytime you need anytime you need a man to abuse, just come over my way.
No abusing. You held your own.
Yes, I did.
And you know what?
I gave it to you the best I could.
But here's the thing: I was not even offended, even at some of the things that you're saying. Even at some of the things that you're saying, I'm absolutely not offended. Why? Because they're words.
Because you like words.
No, because they're words.
You don't like.
No, right. Hold on. Calm down. They're words that you have chosen, and they're your choice. So
I'll be Tony Soprano. You be Dr. Malfi.
There you go, sir. There you go.
We could role play that.
I'll listen to this.
Forever. We could role play that forever.
Okay, but listen to this.
It'd be a good fantasy to live.
Oh boy.
Okay. I gotta go.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Bye, Dr. Malfi.
Take care. Bye-bye. Peeps, you just heard it. That's the end of the show. It got really weird, but I try to be open to listening to people and what they feel about Bitcoin. And you know what? You got a lot to think about now. Scrub your brain. Have a great day. Please come back to SWA. It always gets weird. I can't even do the stamp song now. Have yourself a good one, guys. And remember to check out the Bitcoin universe. Thanks, guys.